On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we are back in the warehouse with my $3,500 C5 Corvette. And today, the game plan is to get the engine out of it. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Jericho, and today I'm here with Josh from the Fractured Rooster, and our game plan is to get the engine out of the C5. Now, it's a big job, and I planned on doing it the way I like doing it, out the top. But my Corvette guru was like, yeah, you're not doing that. He was like, if you can get it out the top after you pull everything out, but if you do, you won't get the splines lined back up on the torque tube. So his suggestion was out the bottom and pull everything in the car at once. That's what we're gonna try to do today. Transmission, of course, it's in the back, the entire rear cradle, torque tube, and the engine, whole front subframe, all of it. He said just drop it all, and it shouldn't take too long, and that's how the dealership does it, how GM recommends getting it out of here. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with here today. Obviously, we can start with the battery. The alternator won't clear the frame on these things. Alternator is definitely coming out. We got to drain fluids, so we've got antifreeze and oil to get out of here. All the junk on the front, all the intake system, that can just come right out. Fuel's got to come off, and the entire engine harness should drop off the PCM from underneath. Once we get the tires off, we can pull the splash shields, and that should let us get to the ECU. And then, you know, everything else fits, like, complete. The only
compressor?
The AC compressor is the one wild card here. I think we'll have to vacuum down the AC. And yeah, the AC compressor is definitely the thing that's in the way.
Can we just remove it and let it hang?
I just looked.
Is it tied to the frame?
It doesn't look like we can let it hang, unfortunately. It looks like it's got to get pulled down. We don't know exactly how we're doing this, but we're just going to hop in here and try to figure it out. So
it's an LS swap.
Nope, no problem. We'll get it done, that's for sure.
Just an LS swap.
Still got deck school in it. Interesting. I also found out this thing had been totally BG serviced. It had the power steering flush, cooling system flush, fuel service, and all of this was at 95,000 miles. They were really taking care of the car, you know? And then unfortunately a little bit of water goes a long way towards wiping out an engine.
Get that good washer fluid.
Does it have a good washer fluid?
Yeah.
BG?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Also, our new engine, I think, is nasty. It's gonna be so cool, and it's on the way. I can't wait to show it to you guys. Sort of on the way. It should be here by the end of the week, maybe. That's kind of where we're at on the new engine, but it's way more engine than this was. Battery coming off, first things first, because Josh is over there on the alternator, which means we're about ready to get that off of there. Alternator comes off super fast, as you guys have seen on this channel before. C5 alternator rocks. I think it's a 13 and a 13. Maybe a 13 and a 15, doesn't it?
I guess a 15, yeah.
Yep. It's got to be odd. You need a 10 and odds. And let's just go ahead and get the whole battery out of here to buy ourselves some room for this job. Belts off, alternators off, batteries out. Where are we going now?
Does EGR need to get disconnected?
I think it does right there. I think that's the spot the EGR comes off. Man, where'd you get a pipe wrench?
Out of the pipe wrench drawer.
I don't even have a pipe wrench drawer. Josh built his own. Oh, did you pull your shoulder out?
Yeah.
Hopefully not. that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it does.
Josh is pulling off the air pump in to the exhaust over there. All right, I think I got that. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the tins. And I'm gonna pull the whole bridge over the radiator. I think it's easier like that. So it'll take the air intake with it. Ah, look at that.
Oh.
There's water residue in there.
Oh, there's like crustaceans in there.
Oh gosh.
SpongeBob's been living in there.
Man, this thing really did suck up some water.
Yeah.
That is no joke.
Go your way with it.
I'm trying, but no promises. I think that you might really have to pull the map. I can release it, or you got it. Okay, there we go. We got the bridge off of here.
That's a nasty math too.
Is it? I think the whole lid's loose. Well, it is loose, but not that loose. Yep. Look at all the trash in the air intake there. It's literally built up in front of the throttle blade. Throttle body is ruined. I do know our new engine is coming with a new throttle body, or, well, you know, the same throttle body. So I'm kind of excited about that. Does still run. And I mean, the throttle was still working. Good old GM stuff. You can really send it to its graveyard and it still keeps on running. That goes there, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right.
You want to do fuel lines since we're right here and then put it up in the air and drain fluids?
Fuel lines, drain the fluids. Let's do it. Hooking up the old recovery machine to the AC so we can suck all of what maybe there's Freon in this. We don't even know yet, but we will find out in just a minute. Let's go get some power and fire this thing up. Josh got all the fuel too. He's pulling the last quick disconnect off the evap there, and we are about ready to head underneath this car. Let's take a look at our, better open the valves, system here. There we go, we're sucking it down. 40 inches of mercury, recovered 0.01 pounds so far. We are headed down towards the 0 mark, 0.02. It doesn't seem like there's that much refrigerant in here. It should have pulled a lot more out. A lot faster than this. But we're getting there. All right, Josh is going for the oil. I'm going for the wheels. We're gonna try to just knock this out with some speed here. Oh man, the lugs sure do come off nice. A little jam in the socket. A bunch of them are new. It's probably because a bunch of them are new. I like how we're going for max height to get the wheels off. Stay. Stay.
And this oil's really clean.
That is some good looking oil. Of course it looks brand new because it has 3 minutes of runtime on it.
Oh, do you want to keep it and reuse it?
Yeah, man, you're not recycling my oil?
That's what they mean by that, right?
Look at the inside wear on this tire. It's pretty typical for Corvettes to cup the inside though. These tires are horrific. Like, it has stretched front tires.
Are they as old as the car?
They're definitely not, because these are aftermarket wheels, but the date is 2519.
Yikes.
So they're only 3 years old. We're starting to get some nasty trash out of this.
It's like milky.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, obviously we had a lot of milk before, but that is not the nice golden oil we had a second ago. That's horrible.
Look at the puddle. Is there anything down here collecting?
Gross. Look at the milk. There's a lot of it. I thought we had it all out from the first try. All right, another wheel down. Yes, we did it at max height because it's more fun. We also found a new fuel fill. I don't know if we mentioned that before, but the entire fuel fill, and it looks like the hose and all the evap line back there, all new. Very interesting. Isn't that crazy? Look at this, has an inside cup. This is a weird wear pattern. Isn't that odd? It has smoked the inside of this tire. Almost like it was run like way over pressure or something. Yeah. What else could it be?
High speeds.
Because look, okay, first, whoever drove it only drove like 150 everywhere to get the tire to grow. All right, Josh is going for the exhaust there. I'm going for the O2 sensors. As you can see, we're just stripping that stuff out, and we're about to drop the whole exhaust. It has to come out front to back. And luckily, all the exhaust studs were just loose. That was the tick the whole time. It was the...
Oh, we found it.
Just kidding. It was not the exhaust. It was definitely the engine.
It's always the last place you look.
Oh, it's just a good old GM exhaust.
Sometimes I keep looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Even after I find it.
I'm with you. All right, I'm trying to get, there's a little retainer for these bad boys. It's really hard to see for the rear O2 sensors, and I'm close to popping that off. O2 sensors, pull the clips. That's my recommendation. So, stuff's gonna fall on your head, but you know. One more. Boom. Okay, we're ready to drop the whole exhaust. A couple more bolts. Dude, we didn't break a single exhaust bolt.
Yet.
I mean, they came pre-broken, which was a big one. I broke these loose with a wrench and they came right off. So it definitely probably needs new gaskets. But hey, we're ready to drop the exhaust. All right, good. Good progress. Wouldn't it be cool if this went back together with a new, the sound maker? I'm kind of kidding, but I kind of want an exhaust. Boom! All right, those gaskets actually look like gaskets. Telling me impressed. Yep, they're complete. All right, I'm gonna pull these, and there's one. Turn it up. Boom. And now there's 2 more that are 15s somehow. Okay. It's loose. Out she comes. That's a nice piece you got there. I like it. All right, that only took a few seconds. We got the exhaust out. Now we have to pull all these guys on this shield here. They're all 7s or 6s, tiny little things. And that'll let us drop the torque tube and get the rest of our lines sorted out. Time to get our coolant out of here. Maybe. No promises. Hey, there we go. It's still gonna make a mess. Did you see it start coming out the side? Yeah. It wasn't ever gonna be easy. Good. Oh, cool. What do you need though? This is Tetris right here. We've got transmission fluid coming out, and also the radiator is still making coolant, like of course it always will. And we've got to get the oil into this one and the coolant into this bucket. And it seems like it's kind of working.
Coffee for Mr. Rob Hot.
Ever human. This is, I need a breaker bar to get this brake caliper bracket. All right, use your breaker bar. Everybody at once, go. No way.
I go back your way one.
Oh, something's not good there. All right, we got to pull the brake calipers. So I decided I would cheat and just pull the whole bracket, and the impact couldn't even budge it. So this impact came right off. Whoa, both going down. Not going down. We're dropping the shocks now. Once we get the shocks out, we already got the upper ball joint. They came right off. So that pretty much leaves us with nothing holding this to the car except for wiring and the bolts on the cradle. So we're down to last seconds here in the front, I think, other than getting all the rest of the coolant out. Coolant's still coming. Oh, oh, oh. She's apart.
Explosion.
Explosion. All right, we got to get the ECU out of here. And there's a couple 7s holding on the back of the splash guard. There we go. I think that's all of them.
Careful.
It was all of them. Anyway, the ECU's right here. All we got to do is get these 2 7s. And the engine harness is disconnected. So we are ready to slide these back inside, and that should let us get the engine out. So the Corvette guru told me, make sure you pop this cover off of here. Of course, it's a little rubber inspection cover, but this is how you get a collar. Oh, look at that, unbelievable. He was like, make sure you turn the flex plate until you can get to that bolt on the collar. And look straight up into it. Can you see that bolt? Yeah. And there's that bolt. It's pointing exactly in the right direction. Somehow we got lucky. Honestly, I think we should just pull that now if we're gonna leave the torque tube bolted to the engine. Like, I think the move is probably to go ahead and loosen it up.
You got it lined up, 6 mil?
That looks like a, 6 mil. And if you need to turn it, just put your old pry bar in there. And I think that's even better. I think we have it perfectly vertical now. So we're getting the Prindle unhooked. The shift linkage is off. We've got 2 connectors right here that don't want to come off, obviously. These things are crazy hot because they live beside the exhaust. John said on his sometimes he just pulls the whole thing. It is time for us to get this thing out of here. It looks like the lower case, this is the lower one. Lower one's gonna go in the back to get the rear subframe, and this one's gonna go in the front about there. And we're gonna go ahead and lower the car now and set it all down on these road cases. Make sure we got our light out of here. And then we should be down to just the bolts and this whole thing should drop. Perfect, perfect. That was kind of my thought too, is we needed to block it up just a little bit. I like it. Okay.
Block it, block it.
Block it, block it. You ready? All right, we're getting close to the impact point. Getting close.
I'm gonna play some Apollo 13 stuff here.
Some Apollo 13.
Houston, are we looking good? Roger that, looking fine.
I want to put this. What bolts? Okay, I see the bolts you need. All right, I'm gonna set this
All
forward.
systems are go.
All systems are go. Coming down some more. Here we go. The front end's looking pretty dang good.
I'm 1 inch away.
I'm also 1 inch away.
Okay. Contact.
Contact. The car is supported by the boxes. And so far, oh, these road cases are pretty solid. Pretty solid.
There was a little hesitation that makes me question my belief.
It's fine.
Okay, we'll start undoing the subframe bolts.
We're pulling our subframe bolts off of here. I could really use a swivel, but there we go. That's loose, and now we're gonna move to our rear one, which is also okay. So that's that. Ready for the front, huh?
I just discovered we're going to have to do something with these ABS sensors and the e-brake cables.
Yes, and I have a ground back here that's gonna have to come off. And the e-brake cable looks like it's relatively easy to take off.
Yeah, I'll fight that. You work on the ground.
I think it does. It runs into the same harness as all this. Oh! You alright? Josh was testing out his personal drifting skills. And they're pretty good.
Parkouring.
Parkour! Popping these little double clips off. There's another one. And there's like one more here. And we got a couple on the other side. Boom. There's our harnesses. There's a speed sensor right about here on top of the transmission. So as it comes down, you want to go slow, or as the car goes up. That way you can get that off without breaking it. Josh got a huge breaker bar out earlier, not the impact, and broke all these loose because it took a ton of force to get the subframe bolts out. So here we go again. All right, one more. All right, I think we're ready to lift the car. Give it a little bump. It's retained. For some reason it picked it up.
You see that?
I got it if you want to go for the top.
Can you rotate it? Put the bolt. Oh, I think that's how we did that last time.
Give me one tiny push. And it's on. It's on.
Okay.
All right, we got our shock out of the way. We had to lift this thing back up with the bolts back in, nuts back in one time. And now we're trying to get the control arm off. Oh, there it is. We're good. Car was floating. Doing the real sketchy things. Yep, all systems go for liftoff.
Okay.
Give her the bump.
Go the motors. Firing motors.
Firing rocket thrusters. Oh, it's going. It's going. It's going. Oh! We have a full inch or two of separation here. I think now is the time to separate all the rest of the wiring.
Oh man, this is sketchy.
Just needs spun off to the side here, and the caliper can go with the cradle. So here we go. Should be out. Yeah, it's out.
So as it turns out, we do have an ABS module and power steering reservoir issue here, so we're just going to pull the reservoir real quick.
The Corvette God showed up and said, this is how you get the brake lines apart. Now the factory, there's unions up here, and I think they break the unions on the brake lines and just let it blow all over the floor. And then, you know, when you're done, they put the unions back on. If you look right up in there, I've got the light on them. You can see where the brake lines break apart. But John came over and said, yo, if you just pop the CVs out of the transmission, it won't leak any fluid, and you can just go right around it. And that's what we did. So now these are Christmas trees that hold the brake lines. Pop them up and you can just go right around the CVs, no problem on both sides. So we are ready to get these out of the way, and that is everything on the back of this. Quite a few connectors, speed sensor on top, 4L60 connector over on the side, Prindle on this side, and you're about home free. All we have left is figuring out what to do with the ABS module and one line that's holding us back. And I think we're ready to finish separating this thing. We're close. I think we're ready to go after a lot of double checking in here. There's one ABS line that comes off the pump and it has to come across the entire subframe. We went ahead and pulled that off. That took a while and we ended up getting the radiator and the fans out because it was in the way the line wrench is. But now I think we're ready to give it the first real bump in quite a while. So, whoa. Yep, that's where we're stopping, 2-inch. All right, so now the ABS pump is up here on this mount. We got to get that out of the way.
Is that what I heard?
It's going.
All right.
It's going up.
Let's look around the back a little bit.
We're ready for our next big bump here. We've got all the harnesses that we think. Sure makes a lot of noise when this is going down.
Oh, that was
ABS is still pretty tight, but it's going up, I think. All right. You ready for another one?
To the moon.
Go. I think we're okay. Oh. Something's caught. All right, John, let's do this. I'm going up with the car. Oh, something. Oh, power ABS is trying to hang a little bit. Let me pull it through. Yeah. Oh, the power steering line got crazy. Okay. I think we're good again. I think we're all clear. That's power steering.
it's coming with.
But here, you can just have that. There's the reservoir. Let's try again. I think we got it all again. Oh, for 2 seconds, just to clear some junk. All right. I have all the wires at the top, and the ABS pump is going up now. Cool.
Ready?
Wait. The stupid radiator line.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now we're good. Go for it. I'm gonna hold the ABS. You might check the rear.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're all the way. Just working on the railroad.
Need to go find it. That's free. That's free. Free. I guess that don't matter. We can leave it. We got plenty of flex, brake line. We got flex. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm not even doing anything anymore. I'm just going for the amusement park ride. Yep, all good. I think that's it. We're almost at the top even. I'm clear.
I just want to make sure I don't stretch these rear brake lines too much
Okay.
because they're actually.
Kind of still on there.
You got plenty of flex. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, they're completely off. All right, go for it, man. This thing's out. Ow. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the brakes up, I think. That's the top. Cool. Look at that. Insane. Yeah, you're on the locks right about there. What a job. But John said, do it like this or good luck ever getting the torque tube splines back in there, because it does stick out like that far, and there's like a clean, like no splines with a little alignment section, and then there's all these splines, and if it's not perfect, the thing's not going back together. It's got alignment dowels, but kind of, it's one of those good luck things.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect.
Perfect. So this seems much easier, and this is how the dealership would do it for sure. But of course they have the correct tools that just grab the frame and then pull the bolts, and of course they can get the ECU out And on this car, the ECU would not come out, which is the reason we didn't just drop the harness with it. But makes life easier to rewire once we're putting the new engine in. Thanks, John, Corvette guru. Man, you skinned up your hands. How'd you do it?
Surprised. I'm getting. Need to turn more wrenches, I guess.
Well, this was fun. I'm glad you told me to pull out the bottom. Otherwise, I always, as always, out the top. I love pulling them out the top, but this would have been a nightmare. It would not have gone well.
If you wouldn't have had a lift, then the top.
It would have been the top. Yep. But I've actually, there's a bunch of people that say they pulled it in their garage with just a little room and a motorcycle jack. With props to those guys, man, laying on their back with a motorcycle jack, getting fluids dumped all over them the whole time, oil and antifreeze everywhere. So, and we got the engine stopped making coolant. So sweet. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fast when it goes back together.
You'll want to keep it.
I will want to keep it.
Because you can beat on this one where you don't want to beat on that one.
I don't ever beat on that one.
But this one you could just beat the heck out of.
Yeah, what's another one of these, you know? No big deal. How to pull the drivetrain on a C5, and our engine should be shipping out maybe tomorrow. So within like a week or something like that, we should be able to swap in parts over. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjaguar.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. I should probably mention, we started that at about 3-ish p.m. It's currently 8:29 and we're heading home. It took quite a while. Josh and I got almost all of it except for a couple things, and John, of course, came over and pointed them out real quick. Mostly figuring out a game plan for that one ABS line because we did not want to pull it off the pump, but we got it done. That's what it took. You'll need a 13mm line wrench for that. So about 5 hours, not too bad. And that was top to bottom, whole thing.